Animated Mel.
What just happened?
Welcome back to the Animated Universe of Mel. I'm your host Mel, and today we are going to get into Dragon Ball Super Broly. So if you haven't seen this movie already, please do not watch because there will be spoilers throughout this entire video. So do not watch. Get away. Run. Pause. Okay? You have been warned because I don't like to spoil stuff for people. And I don't like to have stuff spoiled for me. So you get away from this video until you've seen the freaking movie. Alright? Now, let's get into the movie. Overall thoughts about this movie, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a very well done cinematic feature for Dragon Ball, as it's, 2019 and the anime finished in 1987. So I think that's pretty dope that they were able to bring it back with a theatrical feature, one of the best. I felt like it was a little bit better than, as far as animation goes, it was better than the Resurrection of F. It was better than the Battle of the Gods or whatever. And this was overall ill. Now, I enjoyed the storyline of Broly. I felt like it was the best storyline for any Dragon Ball movie that actually makes sense. Rather than Broly being a character whose rage comes from Kakarot crying as a child, it's better that it makes sense that he's a legendary Saiyan, and that, because where he's from, where he grew up, and the hatred that his father has, probably boils down to him, because, you become an example of what you're typically around, or you become a product of what you're typically around and stuff like that. So, I feel like Broly's story is really good, and it makes sense that Paragus will hold a grudge against King Vegeta, since King Vegeta is the one who sent Broly, so freaking far away to another planet, and then he didn't do it with the approval of his dad, and his dad, gets in front of King Vegeta, and then he lets him know that he's sending Broly away. And so he holds a grudge against King Vegeta because he flies out there to, get his child and live and protect his child. But they end up getting stuck on the planet because the ship's power source to get out there was damaged. So they're stuck on this planet, just them. They've been stuck on it for years. And they're not able to get off of that planet until freaking Shirai and Lamo, they get there. So that makes a lot more sense. And I understand that. Frieza, being the diabolical man that he is, he tries to get Broly under his wing, and Paragus, he's still stuck in the times of them having to follow the orders of Frieza, King Cold, and stuff like that. So I'm not sure that he's aware that Frieza died and all this stuff, but Frieza's still there, so he still has the Frieza Force, So the storyline for me, it was really enjoyable. I feel like it was a little slow to start. It was a little slow to start because, you have to build up and create the scene for everyone before we get into the big smokes and all that shit. But as soon as they get to that ice continent, oh my goodness, shit hits the fan. Shit hits all kinds of fans, and I enjoyed every bit of that fight. Now, some of my favorite moments in this series, let's see. First, obviously the entire anime or movie was good. First favorite part of movie, or funny, is when Frieza is explaining to one of his lackeys that he wants to become taller. He's going to get the Dragon Balls and wish to be taller. He wished to be taller, he wants to be 5 centimeters taller. I'm just like, that is ridiculous, that is hilarious. I enjoyed that. That's Dragon Ball not taking itself too seriously, and being able to have some fun every once in a while. I love that. Another funny part is when Goku and Vegeta, they join forces to fight against Broly. And they ran towards Frieza, and it was like, good luck! Ah! Good luck! And then Broly came in, just started fighting Frieza. Frieza was just like, what? That shit was the greatest. That shit was the greatest shit ever. I love that, man. That had me crying in tears, man. And then they instant transmission to get up out of there and get to Piccolo. Another favorite moment is when Goku and Vegeta were learning the fusion dance, and how they have Vegeta looking all ridiculous with his little pose and hand like that. Oh my gosh. And they Did the fat Gogeta, then did the skinny Gogeta, and obviously they finally brought it back with the perfect dance Gogeta. And it's just like Gotenks, you know. Gotenks did the exact same thing when Majin Buu was, you know, coming back and stuff, and Goku was teaching him, and Piccolo was teaching him, whatever. That was ill. So I thought it was pretty hilarious. You know, he has that cocky attitude, just like Vegito. He has that cocky attitude. He's just like, no, we need a name. We need to find out a name. You know, that shit is hilarious. I love that part, you know. So those, I would say those are some of the moments that I enjoyed as well. And being able to understand that Broly didn't even understand what water was. He was straight from the hood. He's like, yo, what the hell is this? Like, yo, bro, that's just water, man. He's like, yo, this shit is good. You know what I mean? So that was ill. Another standout moment in this series is when Gogeta and Broly were fighting. They freaking went into like a different dimension. They like broke into a different dimension. It kind of reminded me of Hits. You know, when Hits doing his have his hands in his pocket and doing his time skip or whatever. It kind of reminded me of that dimension a little bit, but it was still something that stood out and made like the climax of that battle something that was dope. Now seeing Broly, like the music amping up, and then you hear Paragus talking like that's King Vegeta, son. That's Vegeta. Then meanwhile you got Frieza in the middle, and then you got Broly over there just looking at Vegeta and Goku, just getting mad. Every time that Paragus is talking, he's just getting mad. And then he sets his ass off, and he goes straight for Vegeta, and Vegeta blocks that shit and then smirks at him. Yo, that shit had me on fire, man. That was hard. I could not contain myself. That battle was ill. Now, one thing that we did see is that Broly is still learning. Like, he only had two people to play with and fight. You know, he had his little pet on his planet, and then he had his dad who was teaching him the fundamentals of battle. And that's it. You know, you didn't have much experience, so, you know, Vegeta done been through hell and back. He done died, got wished back, you know, went through so many transformations, so he's, you know, a veteran at this. He's putting work in with Broly, but Broly is learning while he's fighting, and he's putting hands on Vegeta. But he was able to push Broly into a form like his Great Ape form, just without the tail, which also goes into the fact that it's similar to level 4. You know, in GT, because like you harness the power of the Great Ape, and then you're able to, you know, condense it into like your human form. So that's dope. That's something that's exclusive to Broly at the moment. Maybe Goku and Vegeta can learn it since they're Saiyans, or is this something that's exclusive to a legendary Saiyan? That's what makes him a legendary Saiyan. So, you know, we'll have to see what Akira decides to do with that, man, because that leaves a whole lot of freaking options open as far as transformations goes, you know. But also I would assume it's weaker because it's not super. So maybe that's, you know, something he probably doesn't need. Who knows? And it was also dope to see Vegeta finally go to his Red God mode. Finally, you know, Goku could do it, but we never got to see Vegeta do it in the regular series, which is dope. I'm wondering, did he learn that afterwards, you know, or is that something that he already could do? He just never had there was no point to do it. The animation from when he was transforming, you see like the little aura glowing on their body, their details to that, man. They didn't hold back. They did not hold back on what they was gonna do with this film, man. Few things that I had gripes about, which is okay. But like I was talking to one of my friends about it, like during the movie or just making highlights. When Frieza decided to destroy everyone, they let Bardock be the only Saiyan who decided to fight off Frieza when he threw the ball. Granted, we saw this in the movie, it happened that way. But like, if it's your imminent destruction and you have a big ass beam, regardless if it would have, you know, made sense or helped out at all, you're Saiyans, the strongest warrior race. Bardock's the only one who's trying to fight off this big ass energy beam. Like, I'm sure they would at least been able to protect themselves for at least another beam if every Saiyan would have did something, you know, to try to stop the beam, you know, from destroying their planet. You know, but that's neither here nor there. The fucking planet's gone. Another gripe was when Goku, Vegeta, Bulma, they decided to go to that ice continent. Why the fuck did they fly there? Like in that machine. They could have just instant transmission over there. You know, they already knew the location of it. They just had to get to the Dragon Ball. I didn't understand it. Granted, I understand they had to get the clothes, but you could still do instant transmission to get the fucking clothes. Or if you couldn't locate it because you didn't have an energy source, you could fly there, then do the instant transmission and get there. You know, it could have saved a lot more time. You know, but those just a few little gripes that that Dragon Ball always does, because Goku could have did instant transmission with Cell and instant transmission back, he still would have been alive. And just King Kai would have died. But whatever. The movie was good. Animation was good. Love the character details, and I love the development that they're doing, because this opens a window of Broly being able to be in the story regularly. Goku's going to go to that planet, train with him, and Broly just smirks, man. I thought that was so hard, man. But now, since Goku knows where Broly is, he kinda has another ally. With Shidai and Lamo being in the story now, we have a love source, or a person who cares about Broly versus trying to use him for his powers. We have a person who actually cares for him, so I'm sure he's going to do everything to protect him. And I'm sure everyone want to see either a battle between Broly and Jiren, maybe Ultra Instinct Goku and Broly. There's just so many dilemmas. Like, Broly, he would have died. I feel Broly would have died, or if not died, at least got knocked out if Gogeta hit him with that Kamehameha beam. I mean, because even at that point in time, Whis was like, oh, this is coming to a conclusion. I thought that was hilarious too, man, how Broly was just so blinded by his anger, he didn't give a fuck who was there. Frieza was getting it. Whis was getting it. Gogeta was trying to got, but he didn't get got because that's Gogeta. Get respect the man. I just love that, how he didn't have rage towards any particular one person. He had rage towards everyone, and all he knew how to do was throw them hands. So those were some of the highlights and gripes that I feel about the movie. But overall, it's a great experience. Probably one of the best movies in a while that made sense for the story. History of Trunks, it made more sense as well. The Bardock story, it made sense. Maybe even the Garlic Jr. Part made sense, because that kind of had a playing on the earlier parts of the Dragon Ball series in the Garlic Jr. But all the canon ones, the non-canon ones, I'm not against them, because I do like Tree and Might. I enjoy Tree and Might. World's Strongest. Those are all really good series, whatever. But Turles isn't canon, and nothing that happened in World's Strongest is canon, so it's all good. But let me know your thoughts about this movie, your favorite parts, what you like to see in the upcoming Dragon Ball Super episodes that's going to be made, and what does this leave open? Because, if you're following the manga, they skipped over the Broly part and went straight into the Buu part. So, if you're following the manga, they have this new Supreme, well, one of the villains who fought the Supreme Kais, he was so strong he couldn't die. So, in a sense, I guess he's like Aizen. And he couldn't die, so they went to get Buu, but Buu sleeps, so Goku and Vegeta's there, and now they're the freaking space cadet controls or whatever. So if they're traveling and they're in all these planets, and they're about to fight someone who couldn't even be killed by the Supreme Kais, like, how strong is this guy? Is this going to push Goku to another level? Will they need to go get Broly in order to help out with this? There's so many questions. Or are they going to visit Universe 11 and, get Jiren to come in this shit? Jiren cannot be out of this. We need him. We need Caulifla. We need Kale. We need all them cats. We need Kaba, all of them to come back so that they can, go into this little battle and protect the universe, Because, granted, Dragon Ball, since Zamus, they haven't really faced any, life-threatening situations. The universe tournament, it wasn't anyone dying. It was just more like they were going to get wished back anyway, or so they say. But anywho, let me know your thoughts about this movie, and yeah, let's talk about it, man. And what are you looking forward to this open, and what are your theories and all that stuff, alright? But I appreciate you all for tuning in. If you haven't seen Dragon Ball movie, Dragon Ball Super Broly, go ahead and see it, man. I cannot wait to get this bad boy on Blu-ray or DVD or something like that, man. 'Cause I am going to get it. I like Broly. Like, I didn't really like Broly in the non-canon episodes, but I like Broly. I really like this guy. He's freaking crazy strong, man. And he needs to calm himself. Oh, another part that I enjoy is when Goku was fighting him. He said, "I'm not sensing any evil from you. You don't have to fight. It's letting go." And Broly got even more angry. Like, that shit was hard, man. I'm sure there's some stuff that I let out because there's, I'm excited, so my thoughts are everywhere. So feel free to indulge or, go more in detail about some of the stuff that happened in this series, because I enjoyed this through and through, and I don't want to leave out any other exciting parts in this film. I did highlight the note that they didn't have Gohan in this film. They didn't have none of the androids in this film. Certain characters, they didn't have Goten in this film. Certain lot of characters they left out, but it's all good. You know what I mean? But yeah, let me know your thoughts and all that beautiful stuff. Subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you beautiful people next time. Alright? Y'all have a beautiful day. And don't forget, if nobody else in this world believes in you, I do.